Okay, all right. Since we have learned different type of EC2 and their what and their purchasing option, so today we are just going to try and launch all those EC2 instances and see how they look in real world. So let's go together. Now, so the first thing we do is that from our own tab here, we can just click on what EC2, or we can search it here, anyone. So once the EC2 page pop up, so the next thing now is we have different kind of EC2 here that we can launch based on our business workload. Now here we can see we have the spot requests, we have the saving plan, we have reserve instance, we have dedicated host, we have capacity reservation for what for EC2. So now I'm going to start with what with spot request. So spot request is the instance that we actually use to create many instances. So this spot request is also known as spot fleet request. So this is the kind of instance whereby we can actually create maybe like 2 or 3 or 4 EC2 instances so that we can use it for a short period of time. So we can just specify the time. So let's look at it. If I click on create, now here we have manual configure launch. So here now you'll be the one to configure all the configuration, you set it, or you use a template. Once you use a template, it means you are just going to provide just few things and you launch your spot fleet EC2. Here you can decide to choose maybe 12 or any number you like. So but for better understanding, let me choose manually configure parameter. So here now we can decide to choose this part of EC2. So this is AMI. We have this AMI. So this AMI is the type of EC2 that we want to use. You can decide to choose another one. You understand? So this is Linux 2. Then we also have key pair name. You understand? You can decide to put your key pair name on and all that. Then we also have some additional launch option. So here you can decide to launch your EC2 spot fleet with maybe EBS. You understand? Just a particular small storage that will retain some stuff on your EC2. Then we can attach instance stores. You understand? As we launch it. So these are all the configuration we can see. Here we can enable CloudWatch, you understand, such that we are going to use it to monitor our EC2. Then we can also select security group, you understand. So these are the default security group. We may select default, we may select any of the security group, and then they will surely work for it. Or we may decide to create new security group for this spot fleet. Then we can select our subnet setting, you understand. So we can enable it, you understand. Then we have IAM instance profile. We can decide to put it. This is optional, but not really. So these are the requirements. So here we can decide to put how many number of instances, maybe 112 or 1, you understand. So this is spot fleet. We can decide to put 5 or 15, you understand. So just know that this one is just for some period of time, because it is spot instance. And this is usually used for mostly analytical workload, you understand. People that perform data analysis, that their work can be interrupted. Then here you can select maintain target capacity, you understand. Automatically replace interrupted. You can tell EC2 and you can tell Amazon that I want to automatically replace it. In case you collect the one I'm using, help me to automatically replace it, you understand. So and you can set interruption behavior, you understand. So interruption behavior, you can say terminate or stop, you understand, anyone you like. But this is the best. The best is to terminate if it is interrupted. Then you can decide to set maximum cost for spot instance. You understand? You can decide to say that okay, I don't want to spend more than this also amount, so I just want to spend within this so range. So you can decide to set. Then you can also set your VPC. You understand? Your virtual private environment. So this is default, or you can create new VPC if you want to put it on your own private zone. Then we have availability zone. So you can decide to select any availability zone. So you can select any of these as availability zone, just for fault tolerance. Then we have instance type requirements. Understand? So we have specific instance attributes that match. This one is the one that match the compute requirement. Or we have manually selected. So with manually selected now, you can decide to choose any type of EC2 instance that you have. You understand? So based on what you actually budget for. So if you choose C5 large now, you can see this is the spot price that you'll be paying per hour, and this is the discount that's cut off. You can see if you choose this RCN.12 large, this is the discount that is cut off. So you can decide to choose this one. You understand? You can select your instance manually, or you choose the specific instance attributes. Then you choose it based on maybe how many CPU you want. You may say, okay, I want one of maybe 4 CPU, then maximum of maybe 10. You understand? Then you can select the memory you want, maybe 32. Then you can select the maximum, maybe 60 or 64, anyone you like. So you can choose that, and once you select that, so they are going to give you an a sport EC2, a sport fleet EC2 instance that match this your requirements. So then we also have allocated strategy. That is, how do you want to allocate your price? You can see. So here now, this is allocated price capacity optimized. You understand? So here you request the lowest price spot instance from the most available pool. Here you are trying to say, okay, Amazon will give me the lowest one, the cheapest one. You understand? This one is just like shifting. Then you can say capacity customized. Like, okay, Amazon, based on this so capacity, give me. You understand? Based on what I've said, give me the one that actually suits my. Now you can see these are what we have. Based on capacity, you can see we have 4 CPU, 10 CPU maximum. Then you see, based on what we have said, you can see, and it's going to be just the spot EC2 instance. Then once you do all this configuration, then you can launch. But mind you, all this configuration that we are setting here is based on of what you actually want to use the EC2 for. You understand? So depend on the workload. If the workload is kind of much, you require more thing. So that's that about spot fleet instance request. So let's go to the other one. So another one we have is spot instance. There's a difference between spot fleet instance and spot instance. Spot fleet means that you can select maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 EC2 instance and you launch it and you use it for a particular period of time, and Amazon can collect it and they can reserve it for you, they can collect it, they can give you another. So that is spot request. But for spot instance means you are collecting only one. You are requesting for just one, and that one that you are requesting for, once you request for it, you understand, you cannot request for another one again. You understand? They can collect it at any time, and once they collect it, there's no story on that. Once they collect it, that is it. So whatever you are doing will be terminated. That means you have to request for another EC2 instance. So let's look at that one. Just click on instance here, then click on launch instance. So here you fill whatever instance you want to put. Fill the name. You select your instance type. Then you can select your key pair, or you create another one. Then you select your security group. We have done this one. All this one you already know them. Then configuration, you can see. Then you go to advanced. So it is under advanced that you are going to select the kind of EC2 instance that you want to launch. So here you can just go down and look for purchasing option. So once you get to this purchasing option, you can see it is set to none. So you have to click on this spot instance. So you can decide to customize your spot instance. So you can see some things that you have. So you can see no maximum price, or you can set your own price. You understand? So I don't want to spend more than this. Okay, per hour, I just want to spend $0.5. You understand? Per hour. Then request type, you can decide to choose one time or persistence. Now the difference between this one time and persistence. One time simply means that when you collect the EC2 instance, you understand? Once they give you this EC2 instance, it simply means that the moment you collect this EC2 instance, if you choose one time, they can collect it at any time, and your work can be terminated. So it means that this one is used for like one-off job. You understand? One-off job, like maybe you just want to perform little data analytics on maybe small amount of data. You can quickly use this one time. Just know that at any time they can collect it, and once they collect it, your work will be terminated. That's all. But if you choose persistent means that you still open the door for negotiation. You are still telling Amazon that, okay, I'm still available. You can still, you understand? So if Amazon collects the EC2 spot instance that you're using at that moment, they will quickly replace it with a new set one, with new ship one that we have actually demanded for. They will replace it with that exact one. And if at that moment they collected it, maybe they will just wait a little bit and look for any ship one that match the one you have been using, and then what they are going to give you. That's the essence of setting this one. Then you can decide to set your expiry date. You understand? You can set it as okay from so time to so time. You can set it okay. Then interruption behavior. You understand? In case they interrupt it, you understand? So click terminate. Terminate means that once it is interrupted, it should terminate, or you. But one thing about this, if you choose persistence now, don't stop it, because if you stop it, Amazon automatically will give you a new EC2 instance, and that can affect your work. So before you can stop it. You understand? You have to first quit the request. You understand? The persistent request that you have made, you have to quit it. You understand? You have to withdraw it before you can do that. Then we also have the capacity reservation. You can decide, okay, maybe open in any, you understand, or so you can choose any of them. Then you can select tenancy and all that, and that's all that. So that's about that. Then you click on launch it. So that is it. for what? For spot instance. So the major difference between spot instance and spot fleet instance is that spot instance is individual, just one EC2 instance that you can use for a specific period of time, and Amazon can collect it. While spot split means that collection of two or more EC2 instances, you understand, that you can use for a certain period of time before what? Before EC2, then before Amazon what? Before Amazon actually hijack it or collect it back. But now the third EC2 instance that we are going to learn how to launch is the one that we have saving plan. Okay. So in this saving plan, now you can see, so saving plan is just like you budgeting that, okay, for 1 or 2 or 3 years, I want to, you understand, I want to budget maybe $1,000, you understand, and as my EC2 work, you understand, so be removing maybe $10 per hour or $5 per hour or $0.015 per hour. So that is just, so this one is just like you are paying, you understand, for a what? For a long time, just like you are listing the EC2, you understand. So but for this EC2, you have flexibility, you understand. You can actually swap from one EC2 to another. You can, you understand, you have that flexibility, you understand. You can, so once you purchase this one, you can flex, you can do whatever you like within your EC2 environment, you understand. It has that flexibility and it has high discount as well, which is 75% once you pay. I'm not going to click on this because once you click on this, you're going to pay. So let me just leave it. I don't need it, just explaining how it is. Now the next one is reserve instances. That's reserve EC2 instance. Now this EC2 instance, this one, once you click on this, just click on purchase. Now with this one, now you can actually reserve any kind of EC2 instance that you want. You understand? You can reserve any kind of EC2. So you can decide to choose the platform that you want to use it for. You understand? The kind of operating system and that. Then the tenancy, can decide to put it in dedicated or free class. You can decide to be compatible or standard, anyone you like. Then instance type, you can choose any type of instance type based on your workload. Then you can choose the term. Maybe you want to use it for what? For 1 to 12 months, or you want to use it for what? For maybe 3 years. So this one is also between 1 to 3 years. Then you can payment option. So you can decide to pay upfront that, oh, I want to pay now, or partial upfront, or all upfront. You understand? You can decide. Then once you click on search here, you'll be able to, based on these specific things I've listed here, they are going to give me the exact thing. You can see. So here now you can see, for I should choose this one for 12 months, and this is the amount I'm going to be paying. You understand? And hourly, the hourly rate is going to be 0.00668. You understand? So no upfront, you can see, and it is the standard I'm using, not compatible. Then quality available, this is it. You can see I can decide to add it to carts, and this is the amount I'm going to pay. So average recurring price is going to be $4.96. So that's the price. I can view it and see. I can view this the price and see. So this is hourly rate. Then once I click on order, they are going to render the EC2 for me, and I'll be using it for my workload or whatever I want to use it for. So that's, I'm not going to click on it because we are going to pay this. Now the next one is the dedicated host. So for dedicated hosts, here you are actually buying the physical server because of your compliance. This one is usually used for what? By the bank, by the fintech, and by government. Yes. So here now, just click on allocate dedicated host. Then you feed the name. You understand? Just feed the name. Then you choose your instance family. You understand? You can decide to choose C5, C5. You understand? CC. Don't forget all those C5, CD. They are just like they are great. How powerful they are. So that's it. Then you can decide to choose instance type that you want. So you may decide to choose C5 large. You can see C5 large. Depending on your workload, your workload that will determine this. You understand? Depending on the kind of website or the kind of things you want to put. EC2. Then you can decide to choose your availability zone. You understand? You can choose one. Then instance auto replacement. Here you can enable this one, meaning that if your instance, you understand, maybe there's a fault or there's issue, they can easily Amazon will easily replace it if you enable this. Then auto recovery. You understand? Automatically restart your instance on a new replacement. They can help you to recover whatever you have put before on the former instance. Then quality, you can decide to put maybe how many dedicated instance, maybe 5, 2, 3, you understand, or 1, anyone you like. And see, then you click on allocate, and they are going to allocate it for you. So that's it. So that's about dedicated instance. So the next one is capacity reservation. Now this capacity reservation is used when you notice that maybe the EC2 instance that you are trying to use in your organization, maybe you notice that the workload is kind of becoming much. You understand? And you want to try to expand the capacity, maybe the RAM, You understand? You want to expand it so you can use capacity reservation to pre-reserve, you understand, or book more space for your what for your EC2 instance. So that's just the essence of this one. So we have on demand, we have purchase capacity block for what for machine learning. So let's click on this. So here now you can choose instance type. Maybe you guys are using T2 micro before, you can increase it, you understand, you can expand it to this, or you can so anyone you like, just choose here. Then we also have the, so this has been selected. What platform? Is it Linux? Is it Windows? What kind of operating system are you guys using? Then availability zone, we have this, you can see. So you can decide to choose another availability zone, anyone you like. Then we have placement group, none. Then total, how many seats, how many reservation are you doing? Like how many reservation are you doing? Maybe 4. Meaning that they should help me to reserve 4 of this D5.lat, you understand? 4 of it that I'm going to use it for my EC2. Then capacity reservation start, you understand, immediately, you understand. So yeah, it will become available once we finish creating. But at a future date, you understand, you can specify the future date. Oh, so once so date reach, oh yeah, help me to what? Help me to service, you understand? So you can put your duration, you understand. So maybe you guys want to have, maybe let's say promo season, Christmas season or something like that. So you want to actually update your what your EC2 instance to, you understand, so that it can have more efficiency and more, you understand, more power to do some work. You can decide for 14 days, or you can decide it for maybe 360 days. You can see, you can decide, you can, so depending on what you actually want to do. So that's just what this one is. Then at specific time, you understand, so the capacity will be in what time do you actually want it to take off. Then manually and decide, you understand, to make it remain active until you manually cancel it. So depending on what you want. So that's that about this. You can click on create and you reserve this, 4 of this, you reserve it for your EC2 instance. So that's that about all these EC2 instance that we have talked about in previous days. So if you enjoyed this, please like, follow, and share. In the next class, we'll be talking about new concepts. So this is the end of EC2 instance. So next class, we are going to go to the real solution architect infrastructure, where we'll be talking about some things that are very, very special in solution architect. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video.